Okay, so it seems that we are waiting upon everybody here tonight to begin the stream. Not just Polly, but also the audience is missing. That's fine. It's fine. Usually I tend to see more of you guys in the chat before we start the show, but that does not seem to be the case today, and that's either because I accidentally put the stream on unlisted before it began, before when I initially set it up, or another possibility is that because this would be because YouTube is actually throttling me. We shall see. I have a booger, Abaddon Let a Spoiler says. No, you. So, if Polly doesn't show up, I have a few things that we could definitely talk about. Content updates. I had to kind of scrap a part of the video I was working on for this week because developments came about. And as a result, because things changed, the video also has to change. And that's the kind of sucky bit about integrity, but also doing stuff in real time in accordance with when events take place, is that you kind of have to get all the updates first before you can actually put something out. It's a fun lesson to learn. But of course, I wish I didn't have to learn it. It'd be like that. So, that video will be out either tomorrow afternoon or Monday morning. Depends how much I get done tonight, because I am going to film it again tonight. But I have to edit it. It should be a relatively easy edit. It's not going to be as video intensive like the last video was, where I had a whole bunch of news grabs and on the screen flash ups and all of the shebang. And the music. It's not going to have music. It's just going to be an angry, ranty video from your girl Weebo. And high key, it's probably not going to be one of my most well-liked videos with my audience, because I do have a more conservative audience. I know that. I'm aware of that. And despite that fact, I would like to air my grievances with a number of conservatives, or the sentiments that conservatives hold regarding their part when it comes to children in politics. And this is what that video is going to be in large part about. It's about children in politics, the way that we perceive children in politics, the way that we treat children in politics across the board. And it's going to be using one very stark example to hopefully get my point across. But of course, it's not just a one-off. That's all I'll say about that. Swear to God, I was hearing Cole outside the door. Yes, so that's what I'm working on right now. I apologize for its delay. I had a week of working doubles, basically, so not a lot in terms of content got done. Mostly, I was just trying to stay on my feet and fight off the raging stress, migraine that was brewing in my skull. It actually culminated into a nice little eye twitch on Friday afternoon. And at that point, I was just dead. I was dead. I was horrible feeling. I went out and I treated myself to $177 worth of comic books, which I made back in like a weekend. It's fine. It's not a big deal. We don't worry about it. I wonder if Polly forgot that we have a Saturday show again. It's probably what happened. Anyway, today not a lot got done. I dropped my dry cleaning off, and what else did I do? There was one other thing. Picked up my Red Wings, and I had my graduation party. Finally, at long last, we could gather together as a family to have my graduation party, which means that my brother's in town. He's actually downstairs in the basement with his girlfriend hanging out. I see you in the chat. Give them all hell. Just here to comment, okay, don't want any trouble. Another solo Weebo show? For now, not a big deal. I hope y'all don't mind. I would like to say thank you to Lion Patriot who donated money to me when I wasn't on stream this week. Thank you, sir. You didn't have to, but you did. And that definitely fed into my comic book habit this week. Not gonna lie. I bought a whole bunch of stuff, and now I've cataloged, or I'm working on cataloging everything. That's gonna be a little bit longer of a project, but I only do that. I only splurge like that maybe once or twice a year in terms of comic books. And the reason why I did that, or why I would do that, is because I go to a thrift book shop where they have stacks and stacks of comic books, the oldies too, especially. And I can just grab a metric fuck ton stack for super cheap and get a bigger bang for my buck. It's really nice. I do not mind. But now I have to get more storage for it, and that's on its way too. So I'll have at present 3 comic book holders. I'll have one for Titans, all things Teen Titans and Titans related, one for all things Nightwing related, and then one for miscellaneous. Now that's everything from Justice League of America to Justice League International to Justice Society of America to I have literally one Marvel comic book, and it is Star-Lord and Kitty Pryde, I think. I don't know why I have it. I just do. What else is going to go in there? I have Legends of the Dark Knight. I have a fuck ton of Robin, the Tim Drake Robin comic books. Super Sons from DC Rebirth. What else do I have? And this is all just off the top of my head after looking through it and sorting everything yesterday, because I went a little crazy. I went a lot of crazy, actually. It was, I have problems. I need to be shamed. I texted Polly immediately afterward, and I just dropped $177 on comic books. Shame me, please. Because I had, like, no self-control. I casually meandered over to the stacks of comic books, and I started, like, flipping through them, and all of a sudden I had a box's worth of comic books in my box. And then I went up to the retail person, and I'm like, I'm so sorry. It was bad. It was bad. Of course it's Nightwing, says Ray Jacobson. Like, what would you think it was? Yeah, anyway. So the goal is to complete those collections. Like, every single run of Titans, Teen Titans. That's all the way from Volume 1 to Volume 6. It's going to be a feat, but I think I can do it. Of course, it's going to take several years, and it'll probably never get officially finished, but it'll be an ongoing collection that I have, and something that I can be proud of in that vein. Just like my book collection. I'm a big fan of collecting things that are stories. I like stories. I love stories. It's probably why I've spent so much time writing my own stories for so long. Yeah. Speaking of which, I have not gotten a fuck ton done in terms of story writing in a while. And I think I have to revisit some of the early chapters of the book that I'm writing, which some patrons have read, some have not. No shame, no shame. But I think I do have to revisit some of the chapters. And I'm not going to change the actual events that transpire, but I'm going to beef them up with details. Greater details about the culture and the society that our characters are kind of going through as they're going through it, to give an idea of what exactly it is that they are going through. Because this is set in not our world. It's not even set in a historical world that you would recognize, because it's a fictional universe with, like, 2 moons and different humanoid species, different versions of humanoid species, its own religion, its own cultural customs, its own gods. I already said religion. Its own history and geography. It's all unique because that's the way that I wanted it to be. I wanted to completely avoid the whole, this is actually, this, why didn't you put the criticism, why didn't you put any criticisms of colonialist, capitalist England in here? I wanted to avoid that conversation. And of course, it's not going to be completely wholesale avoided by the truly radical minds that see it in everything, but it'll definitely be curbed a great deal. Much of the commentary that I want to invoke with the story that I'm telling has to do with how there are no real true idealistic good guys, how everyone's flawed, you know, that they make their own mistakes and decisions based off of the best interest of themselves. None of the characters are actually human in a very literal sense. They're all different humanoid versions of humans. So like we have winged humans, and then we have magic using, or magic, that's what we call it, but, or that's what we would call it, but really it's just the manipulation of vitality. We have humans that are giants, essentially. There are different names for all of these humans, but that wouldn't come across unless you actually read the story start to finish or whatever. Or, well, it would, but I'm doing it in a layman's explanation, I guess. We have humanoid versions of humans. And the thing that I kind of wanted to bring out regarding these humanoid versions of humans was that they were kind of allegorical to humans at different points in time of their development. Not specifically cultural, but different points in time of human development as a society. So we have a version of the humanoids that are kind of Neolithic in nature. Use all of the animal types, the stone tool use types, the no developed actual language types, but they're very in touch with each other in a non everyone can relate sense. They sell emote, and a lot of the interaction that these humanoid non-humans are having with each other is very primal and instinctual. It's a very base level of evolution. Then we go up another tier, and basically I took it to the so I started off with the Stone Age, and we go up to the, was it, yes, Iron Age, Bronze Age, whichever one, but essentially it goes up in society development as it progresses, or as it has progressed for us, but it's not on Earth. Am I making sense? I hope I'm making sense. How many unicorns you got in it? No unicorns. The animals of the series will be different, but the same. If you think about it, it's kind of like, I don't want to say it's Lord of the Rings, but not Lord of the Rings, but in the same sense that Lord of the Rings is recognizable, but not Earth. Kind of like that. Yeah, kind of like that. Hang on, let me adjust myself. It'll be like that. The other thing that I really wanted to play with the story that I'm working on is the one thing that all people find to be universally relatable, the concept of mortality, the fact that we can all die. I wanted to flip that on its head and have a few characters that weren't 100% mortal in the sense that, you know, they'll just die like anyone else for any given reason that anyone else would die. I flipped that on its head, and of course they're not 100% like god tier immortal, can never die. They can regenerate in a very Doctor Who sense, but they can also pass it on and lose it. It can be taken from them in very specific instances. I don't want to give that away either, because that's a big plot point. But yeah, the immortality thing is a big part of some of the characterizations that we're working on. We're being me, royal we being myself and I. Not the Copper Age, the Bronze Age. I am a dum-dum. Sorry if I said Copper Age. But yeah, the book. What else? What else can I say about the book without spoiling everything? Oh, if you've ever read Game of Thrones, it's gonna be a similar way of telling the story to that, where each chapter is from the perspective of a different character. And I know some people can get behind that, some people can't. But I thought it was the best way to tell a very dynamic story, so you could get all of the different perspectives of the people, so you could understand where they're coming from. Because in truth, I don't think that we do that a lot of the times. Many people like to pretend that they're introspective about themselves, but they wholly ignore the perspectives of others, the what drives other people, what might motivate them, why they would do things. And I think that's a very big part of why we are where we are today in America and across the world, is because we've forgotten, or we just have neglected the idea of seeing things from someone else's perspective, of being charitable enough to give a person enough time to actually explain themselves. It's unfortunate. It makes me very sad. And it tells me that a lot of what is going on today could be solved if only we just did a little bit more of that. You know, listening. Twice as much listening as you do jibber jabbering. You got 2 ears and 1 mouth, so use the 2 ears. But of course, there are some people who've already made up their minds a lot of the time about what it is that they're taking in, and so everything that they're hearing only serves to fulfill their narratives, and those are the people that you can't quite get to. But those fence sitting types, the ones that are a little bit more open to listening to their fellow man, that's kind of what this book is intending to emphasize, the importance of understanding perspectives, not necessarily justifying actions, but understanding perspectives. It can make you a better human for the most part, I think. What someone's messaging me. We can address that at a later point in time. Anyway, Assassin's the Grey text me to say, or not text me, but he messaged to say, Weebo, remember, no matter how you shape your story, the nattering nabobs will move against you. They just forced the publisher of Razor Fist Books to fold. He has a secondary. Yeah. I don't think I would publish it under Weebo Jones. Definitely not. I don't even think I would publish it under my real name, quite frankly. I'd use a, what is it called? A pen name, I think. Yeah, I think that's what it's called. I would use that, and hopefully that would deter some of the more crazies out there. Who knows, though? People can find anything out online nowadays. Although it would add a fun element of mystery to my authorship if who I was, the name attached to the story, was someone who actually didn't exist, who had no history, no background, no nothing, absolutely zippity-doo-dah. And it would be fun to come up with an actual, like, a decent name for an author. Something to disassociate me, myself, and I from each other. Of course, we're all the same person coming from the same place, but for means of anonymity, it's much more fun to be unknown to a thing that you don't want to associate with IRL. Thank you. Pen name. Yes, that's what I mean. What I'm trying to get at, essentially, is I'd like to compartmentalize those portions of my life, please and thank you. A lot. Some of it has to do with the fact that I don't want a book published under my own name. that has all the sexy shenanigans in it, and then have people think about me, the person, having written all that stuff, and be like, oh, interesting. Because that would make me blush a great deal. Not gonna lie, especially if it were like my father reading the book. Not that he wouldn't read the book anyway. I probably let him read it, but just the thought kind of makes me like, no, stop, Dad. Don't read that part of the book. You're too innocent. Put your eyes somewhere else. I don't know how I could look in the eyes after that, but I'd have to. But it'd be a good time. Yeah. So I have, I think it's like 10, 12 chapters written or in the works. I'm going to revisit some of the old ones, partially because there are a few things that I forgot happened or a few details that I want to iron out before I continue on. Make sure that they're all smooth sail. But also because I want to expand on the world building in smaller but more impactful ways as the characters are going about the intro. Because I am introducing you to a completely novel universe, I guess. So it's important, I think. And I don't think I did it justice in the original draft, which is why I'm revisiting it. And then, of course, it's always good to revisit things anyway, because one, I can't spell for shit. Two, grammar is not my forte. Three, because it'll never be perfect enough. And I can always improve. Definitely always improve. Let's see if Polly has messaged me. Nope. Nope, he has not. Deep sad. Deep sad. Imagine Daddy Jones reading a Weebo written Harlequin and enjoying it. I don't see that happening. I just don't. I'm sorry. I do not see that ever transpiring. I just can't. And I don't want to. Physically, just it gives me such cringe. Yes, I am painting my nails, and that's because I want them to look pretty tomorrow. I'm going with a nice pink because I deserve it. And also, I went through all the trouble of filing them because they were starting to get ratty. And they need to look pretty. So yeah, that's where I'm at. I will say the world building itself, not just like the crafting of it in a book format, but the world building itself has been the biggest struggle because you're creating a whole new thing, something completely your own. And so you have to think of literally everything first. And every single little detail just takes you down a rabbit hole of different details. And then all of a sudden, you're 3 hours away from where it was that you needed to be. And you have not written a single actual page of the book itself. What you've written is you've written like the synopsis of, oh, actually, you know what? I can show you what it is that happens when you start world building, because I think I have Storyfire saved to the cloud, don't I? Where is it? Seriously, where did it go? Is it Storyfire or is it Campfire? I have something. There it is. All right, I gotta install it first before I can actually open it up. Oh, my eyeball! Oh, my eyeball! Oh, I just remembered in the worst way. I just remembered in the worst way that I was cutting up jalapenos earlier. Oh, fuck! Fuck! My eyeball! It burns! Ah! I'm gonna die. I am going to die. I hate everything. I hate everything. Oh, God. It's so bad. It hurts. And now I gotta figure out what my Steam username and password is. I think it's Weebo_Jones, but I can't remember for the life of me. Ah, now we need to go get a code. This is such a pain in the ass. Yeah, no, Polly's not here yet, so I'm just rambling about things that no one cares about for right now. Well, actually, I care about it. But that's because I made it. It's my thingy. I did the thing. I made the stuff. I brainstormed. Oh, God, my eye is burning. This is the worst. I hate it. It's so sad. Okay. Oh, you know what I should also do? Open up Streamlabs. I haven't had that open yet. YouTube. Oh gosh, they're making me go through all of the things. Open story from the cloud. Okay. Are you kids ready? I will open up a very specific part of the world building section. Where are the species at? Okay, there we go. Nothing super spoilery. Learning a life lesson the hard way. Congrats, Weebo. Yeah, not only that, learning a lesson the hard way live on stream for all to see. I washed my hands, Assassin of the Gray. Okay, so this is Campfire, not Storyfire, but this is Campfire, and it can be used. It's like a story writing idea compilation of stuff. I dropped money on this thing because I thought it would help me world build better, and it has definitely. But I is it that one? No, it's not that. Where is it? There it is. Okay. So I dropped money on it because I thought it would help me, but in reality, it's helped me, but it's also been the biggest thing that made me procrastinate. Anyway, so this is one of the species. This is an evil species. Evil species being probably not the best thing to say because you're not supposed to say that about a whole entire species. That's racist. But this is one of the species, and they're evil because of the nature of how they survive. So I can go through and read some of this stuff for you. And if it sounds interesting, let me know, and I'll open up some more of the story to you guys as I continue to write it. Anyway, so history and origins. Yeah, okay. So a lot of people use this Campfire stuff to world build for their D&D campaigns too, and it's really useful for that, but I find it super easy to use for world building for the story. So here it is. I'm going to immerse you in a little small sliver of what it is that I've been working on. History and origins of the, and it's pronounced Nairad. The Nairad are the children of Droll Nuratas. Yeah, I know. Fun time with names. And his primary manner of subduing the content of Adacra. Wow, this all sounds so cringe as I'm reading it. Sorry. Okay, I'll get serious about it. Of Adacra, as well as gathering intelligence. They are inherently invasive species given their genesis always stems from Nuratas raping their mothers. It's such a fun time. Great time, right? Yes, I know. During the Great War for Adacra, the Nairad number in the low thousands and made up numbered. Wow. I really should have gone through this and made sure that it wasn't super cringy before I read it to everybody. I'm realizing that now, but who cares? We're continuing on. During the Great War for Adacra, the Nairad numbered in the low thousands and made up a majority of Nuratas's subterfuge. And I think I'm using that word right, but who knows? This is all supposed to be personal notes, by the way. Once he once oh god, I'm sorry. Once he subjugating very oh god, I'm so sorry. Once he subjugated, this is embarrassing for me, isn't it? Once he subjugated various clans to his whims, he used his puppet leaders to impose more forceful tactics on the remainder of the holdouts. Yay for him. Anyways, so this is kind of what they look like. in their natural form when they're not taking everyone else over. But their skills and abilities are essentially shapeshifting. They have the ability to take any very good, Weebo, form of a person whose vitality they have completely consumed. Once they have completely consumed their victim's vitality, they can take the form of that person at any time, along with all their memories, mannerisms, and speech pattern. Super, super scary shit. But, you know, of course, the only way to make a new one is to have this one very specific person rape another person. There's a reason for that, but I won't get into it. Their other ability is consumption. The Nyrod can absorb the vitality of anyone they come across. This takes time to complete properly, but can be done by being in the sheer vicinity of their victim. They are more powerful. And I think I did not finish this section, obviously, because it just kind of tapers off. The one thing that I'm super not okay with about Campfire Pro is that they don't have a spelling checker or grammar checker, as you can tell. Because you're reading all of these things as I'm reading all of these things, and I'm realizing that I have a lot of mistakes as I'm reading through it. Yay, fun. So the nature of the consumption itself is actually kind of fun. Not fun. It's interesting because it's unique. Anyway, the consumption is similar to tithing in that it drains vitality from the subject imposed upon it. However, it is typically done gradually and can be done without direct contact. This is due to the hereditary proximity of the Nyrud to divine power being removed only 3 generations from their ethereal ancestors. Ooh, yay, fun stuff. Consumption can be an arduous process for the victim. It presents much like a sickness with symptoms ranging from a depressed immune system, decreased heart rate, lower body temperatures, decreased appetite, lack of sleep, and reduced overall zest for life. The symptoms become more pronounced until eventually death ensues. Fun time. The completion of a consumption is usually hallmarked with the literal consumption of the victim, although that is not necessary for a Nairu to take a form. All that is necessary for a complete flawless transformation is that the victim dies. However, because, you know, they consume their victims more often than not, they kind of get this whole cannibal-y stigma. I mean, they're already stigmatized because they're literally stealing from another person all of what it is that the person is before that person dies. They are literally stealing their vitality, their life force, their soul, everything. So a fun time was had. Anyway, while the process is incomplete until the victim has died, a Naira does develop the ability to take on certain traits of its victim while consumption is in process. This can range from gaining partial memories, adopting speech patterns, mimicking mannerisms, or the ability to shift their form into traits of their victim. This is often presented unconsciously and usually needs to be actively suppressed by the Nairud. I'm having such a fun time, as it is one of the things that gives their true nature away. Then weaknesses, obviously, flowing water. It's not going to kill them, but it's going to strip away whatever form they take and leave them looking like this lovely, lovely person over here. Anyway, so that's Campfire Pro. That's what I've been using to create all of the little intricate details of the story. Of course, it's nowhere near done, and as a result of this fun little tool, I have procrastinated so much more than I need to. I haven't quite figured out what is a good balance of world building to story building or story writing is. Some point I'll probably get there. But it's also really handy to have those small little tidbits of information that I can go back and reference when I need them. Because, well, I need them. Because I'm doing a lot of cross-referencing with characters, with places, with cultural things, with artifacts, with races and what they can and can't do, what they should and shouldn't do, what they will and won't do. There's a lot there. And so it's nice to have something that I can just go, let's find this bad boy, see what it is that's going on here, and use that to focus my thinking. But oh, it's getting to that point where I can have an easy reference. That's so difficult. Because a lot of the actual brainstorming for world building stuff also does come in the writing process as well. I'll come up with a really good idea while I'm writing shit down for the actual story, and I'll be like, oh, I need to research this, or oh, that'd be such a cool idea. Let me write this down, and then fully develop it accidentally. 2 hours later, I have a fully developed idea and not so much an actual 2 pages that I was going for. But anyway, let me just sign in to Streamlabs because I haven't done that yet. Let's read the chat too. Weebo, unless this is part of the Silmarillion type book you intend to publish later, bullet points are really all you need for notes. You're overthinking your notes. Yeah, I know, and that's what I do. It's who I am as a person. I overthink, I overanalyze, I overcompensate, I overdo things. And while it's super beneficial in certain circumstances, it's also super crippling for me in others. And I need to learn how to balance that. I know, I'm aware. Just a matter of doing it rather than just talking about it. That's the problem. The next 6 minutes, thank you for the donation. The creative writing process is one hell of a journey. I have done my share of it in the past and yes, in the present. Despite IRL, keep adding to it until you can publish something you can live with. In the meantime, y'all sub and buy Weebo's merch. Yes, definitely do that. And I should probably take off this nail polish because it doesn't seem like it's going to get done tonight. I'll do it later. It's fine. What else we got? Overthinking. Here. Overthinking notes is a good excuse to procrastinate. It feels like you're doing work, but you're just stalling. A lot of writers do that. Yep. Definitely my problem. I need to subdue that urge to fully think through a concept before it, the inspiration to write the thing goes away. What else? Assassins of the Grey donated to say, focus on thinking out your cutscenes instead of flowery notes. Idea A, write out scene, determine which act it happens in, repeat. Yeah, that's what I have been doing, and it does work very well. But like I said, every once in a while I'll come across an idea that I really like, or I'll come up with an idea that I really like too. That happens just as much. And I'll try to incorporate it, but I need to think it through all the way. And as a result, that happens, unfortunately. Really, all I should be working on is the stuff that actually pertains to the immediate story. So the different races of humanoids, the different locations and why they're significant, storylines. A big part of the world building definitely had to do with writing what the political conflicts were, because it's not just one thing. There are so many. It's not just one character's hero's journey or quest or whatever. There's a quest arc. There is political turmoil throughout the land between all of the different things. There's a whole arc about the I think it's called, what would you call it? Heir apparent prince of one nation overthrowing his regent mother of another nation before it was that he was actually legally allowed to take control of his kingdom, because there are laws that stipulate that if you're going to be the monarch of a country, you have to be of a certain age. And of course, the countries aren't modeled similar to that of European monarchies or kingdoms. They're modeled similarly to Greek city-states, but not exactly, because they still have their own rulers, definitely, which is what makes it similar to that. But the customs are similar, but not the same. So maybe, yeah, kind of exactly like Greek city-states. Not exactly, but close enough. Yeah, where is Polly? Hang on, I missed my place. Assassin's of the Great. My high school friend was just as obsessive about notes and cross-referencing. I can't start writing without these notes first. He has written nothing for 20 years. Yep, I know. I know. I need to get over that. I'll get over that. I'm working on it. Michael Trudell asks if I struggle with anxiety. I do not. It's never been a big concern for me for as long as I've lived. Now, that being said, I have felt anxious before. It's just not something that plagues me daily, nightly, weekly. It'll happen if I have a big thing coming up. Like if I have an exam that I'm not super prepared for, or maybe like a job interview that I'm not ready for. You know, something that I would logically be, or I should logically be feeling anxious about. That's where I would present with anxiety. But overall, I'm not super anxious. I am just a little bit, well, I am a lot of bit type A, but I don't think that's exactly the phrasing that I'm looking for. I think it's, what is it? Type, in this hypothesis, personalities that are more competitive, highly organized, ambitious, impatient, highly aware of time management, and or aggressive are labeled type A. Yeah, I'm definitely type A, but that's not the word that I'm looking for at all. Anal, is that the word that I'm looking for? I'm more anal about things. Like I want them done a certain way, and I have a really hard time shifting in that capacity when it comes to my work. I mean, I can be flexible, but there are certain times when I am inflexible. And when it comes to like the super important stuff, like my book, like my finances, like the way that I would search for a house, like my schedule, that has to be a certain way because that's what works for me. But sometimes, as with the procrastination, with the storytelling, it's not conducive to success. And so I do need to alter that. So I'm working on it. It's a work in progress. I am a work in progress as a human. Aren't we all, though? Assassins of the Great. He was supposed to write several comic book scripts for me to draw. His obsession with notes and World of Warcraft scuttled his plans. Oof. Sorry to hear that. The next 6 minutes. Inspiration does ebb and flow, Weebs. Keep creating even when you're not inspired. It gives you better launching pad when inspiration returns. That I can agree with. Absolutely. The creative process, it's very much like motion, like the physics behind motion. If you're familiar with Newton's laws, an object in motion will remain in motion unless acted upon by another force. Similarly, an object at rest will remain at rest unless acted upon by another force. You have to really push yourself to get the ball rolling in terms of creativity. But once it's rolling, it just kind of keeps rolling. At least for me, I don't know about anyone else, but that's the way that my creative process works. If I'm on a roll, I'm on a roll, and that momentum should not be curbed, hopefully. But you got to muster up enough effort to actually get to that point. And that's why that's another thing that also is really crippling to me is I find myself in a nice groove of productivity, and then I find that it happens to also be 4 in the morning, and I have missed dinner to go to sleep, like the appropriate moment to go to sleep. Several phone calls and text messages because I've just kind of hunkered down in my own bubble of inspiration and just gone to town. That's a problem. And not one that a lot of people can sympathize with. I don't know. I don't think. At least I've tried to explain it to a few people and they just don't get it. They're like, well, why can't you just work or stop working? And I'm not that kind of a person. I have to actually schedule out 2 or 3 hours in a like on a day to get something done, and then physically remove myself from where it would be that I can attach my laptop to the charger, so that I am forced to stop by the virtue of the fact that my computer has died. So I'll get a lot done in those 2 to 3 hours, but once the computer dies, I'm done. And that's how I control for that tendency to get ingrained into the work that I'm getting done. Now, where this is impossible is when it comes to video editing. I could spend 6 hours in front of this very computer right here and just edit away until the video is done. And then I realize that it is 3 in the morning and I have missed a great deal of thing. It's a pain in the ass, but I'm working on adapting to it. Because there are 2 possibilities. One, I can get better at curbing these urges by, I don't want to say self-sabotaging, but sabotaging my tendency to over-productive, which is so not the way that that should be phrased, but who cares? Or I can attempt to change myself. And obviously, that's not going to work out as well, because there's no guarantee that that would actually work at all. I am who I am. I know that I am. And I know how to correct for that, what to do to kind of curb that. And so I've done it. Don't bring your charger with your laptop when it is that you want to get work done. And that just kind of zaps me out of the workflow. Then I have no choice but to stop. Anyway. Assassins of the Grey. I have 270,000 plus words for a 3-novel manuscript. If I insist on knowing everything that happened in it, I would have nothing. If I insisted on knowing everything that happened in it first, I would have nothing. Well, yeah, no, I understand that the process is ongoing, but there are a few things, details that need to be ironed out for the story to work. Because I'm one of those people that doesn't want to get caught in the trap of continuity errors. So you got to play by the rules that I have established. For instance, the magic system itself, very strict in what you can and can't do. So that definitely alters the way that the plot pans out. So I needed to have that ironed out from the onset in order to continue from that onwards. Same thing with the rules for immortality. Same thing with the character motivations. I need to have those ironed out and fleshed out before I can continue on. At least the major characters, definitely. But of course, there are a few little details, hiccups, things that don't quite make the initial ironing out detail-wise that come up later that I need to address. But then I have to go back and make sure that everything's copacetic again. And so it's a very vicious cycle. It'll get done. I know it will. It's just a slow process. And I have no idea what I'm doing, to be frank. This is the first book that I am ever writing. So, yeah. Taylor Swift has written songs in the early morning hours, says Michael Trudell. I can't wake up and do stuff early. I can only stay awake and do stuff until the sun comes up. That's the way that I work. Some of my most productive moments have been at 3 in the morning. I'm not kidding. I am prone to fits of organization at 3 in the morning when it is that I have nothing else to do the next day. And I enjoy those a lot too. The problem is I'm super tired the next day. Yeah, I'm more productive at night. I'll say that. I'm also a night owl, so it helps. Not super productive in the morning. I'm half dead. I'm a zombie before my first cup of coffee before 9. Which is not fun because I have to wake up early now for my job. That's the great. Believe me, I sympathize, but I can also boot you forward to work, keep your computer plugged in, and use a timer. Boot me forward to work. The timer is not going to work because I'll just ignore the timer. If the computer completely dies, that absolutely, like, that is the absolute moment that I can no longer continue on at that point. And luckily, my computer lasts for a long enough time that it's not a problem. Give or take a few half an hour intervals because of what it is that I'm working on. Remember, creative people do not have much of a social life because they're being creative. Yeah, that was me in college, and I'm finding it incredibly difficult to be creative because since being home, everyone wants a piece of this Weebo action, which sounds bad, but it's not. I like spending time with my family after 4 years of not spending any time with them. Truly, I do, but I want them to leave me alone sometimes. I want to be able to be productive. I don't want to be guilt-tripped into sitting downstairs and watching some TV show that I don't care about with you guys because you want to spend time with me, and I want to write. Sorry, but that's just sometimes the way it is. This is something that happens across the board, honestly. Of course, IRL before fictional reality, unfortunately. So I can't really complain about my job, my family. I have them, and I love them. Not the job, or well, I do like the job. I just don't love the job. But those are responsibilities that I do need to take. If I could carve out like a nice Saturday afternoon to just clunk out all of the things that I need to get done for the rest of the week, that'd be nice. Unfortunately, for the last several Saturdays, I have been swamped with other things, and it doesn't look like it's going to get super easy to be productive in the future, at least in the immediate future, because of the move. We're still working on packing. We're still working on sorting out our finances. We're still, going to work at the same time and figuring out the commute for me from work, because it'll be definitely a lot longer. But a whole bunch of stuff is about to change, and hopefully that means that I'll get to be more creative. How to avoid community errors. Continuity errors. Note what the heroine knows can do by act, sub-act. Very simple. That's not what I'm talking about at all. Continuity errors, like the abilities of certain people or motivations. Like, I want things to be consistent across the board. I want, if earlier on in a chapter I say that there are 12 floors to this establishment, in 16 pages I want there to still be 12 floors in this establishment. I don't want to not have that be the case at some point and then not realize it. So I need someone who is good at sussing out continuity errors in that sense. Hi, Polly.
Damn it, Weebo.
What did I do this time?
Did we have a stream scheduled for tonight?
Yes, Polly.
Did you tell me?
Yes, Polly. I did. Chat, did I tell Polly that we were streaming today?
No. I can feel the glare right through the intertubes.
It's okay. I was just talking to everybody about the book that I'm writing and all of the problems that I'm running into with being creative in that way. Yeah. Because my biggest problem is that I procrastinate by world building too much and not actually story writing. So I get bogged down in the nitty-gritty details. And I justify it like, oh, this will be useful for if I ever need to reference it. But of course, it's not 100% necessary, and nothing else gets done as a result. But I'm so glad that you're here right now, Polly.
Are you?
I am.
Pray tell, why?
Because I enjoy speaking with you, sir.
Oh, I thought you meant something specific. Okay.
No.
No.
No. So, Polly, how was your week?
It's going all right.
Yeah.
It's just, interestingly, I just over at Discord DMs, I see that word I introduced you to last night. How appropriate.
Ha ha ha.
So, chat, let me tell you something. I discovered this word last night. Longanimity.
Yeah.
Polly has great longanimity in his multiple travails dealing with Weebo Jones. It means patient forbearance and calmness in the face of long suffering. Again, I'm feeling the glare.
It sounds rude. Because what you're telling me is that I am a source of long suffering or adversity.
No, not you. Merely dealing with you. It's different.
You're no bag of marshmallows yourself there, Sonny Biscuit.
Bag of marshmallows. What do you mean? I'm soft, fluffy, and sweet. It's true.
I wouldn't know.
Cold, prickly, and sharp.
You can be, at least sharp. In the like. No, actually, I wouldn't know how you would apply that. I don't. No, maybe not sharp. No, not the opposite of marshmallows, but you get my drift.
Opposite of marshmallows? Gravel?
You're overthinking this. I was just saying something clever.
Oh.
It was cute.
Have you been filing your nails this whole time?
No, I just started. And the only reason I started is because I feel like there's an unevenness there and it's pissing me off.
Gotcha.
You ever get that in your nails where you feel like a hangnail or an imperfection and you're like, I want to pick at it. I want to pick at it so badly. I want to pick at it. But you know that it's not a good thing to do because if you pick at the nail imperfection, you'll get less nail and it'll be uneven and it'll be even more imperfect and you're just it's going to kill you. Or if you pick at the hangnail, you're going to rip off half of your finger.
Huh.
Yeah. It's not a fun time.
So you were talking about your continuity in the story you're writing and then getting bogged down in the world building.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Correct.
Well, you've done the psychomycology thing.
Mm-hmm.
When I was doing some writing, wasn't exactly certain who the characters were, or like especially the protagonist. So, we go back on what we know. I wrote up personality tests for a lot of the main characters, especially the protagonist.
Personality test, like?
Yeah, I did it in reverse. So I started with Myers-Briggs and decided upon did it in reverse as opposed to answering the questions to yield the results. I looked at the results to work backwards to produce the questions that the ways that she would have answered the questions. Which told me a lot about, no, this isn't the person that I'm talking about. Well, then you're going down the wrong path with this particular personality type.
Oh, okay. So you answered Myers-Briggs questions from the perspective of the character that you were writing.
Correct. Right. Not for me, for them.
Okay.
It's like, this isn't the way that I would do it. There's lots of things that if your characters, like whoever they are, that they're these particular things. And then working back to it, you can find out what kind of personality type they would be overall and the way that they would react to different situations if you wanted them to be consistently human. That's one of the great things about Myers-Briggs. I don't think it reveals everything about yourself. It's just it's a uniquely formed, wisely formed test in that it's not presuppositional personality categories and then let's jam all the square pegs of real people into the round holes of our theory.
Mm-hmm.
It's let's just get a whole fuck ton of people to answer a whole fuck ton of questions. And then people, they naturally end up falling into certain categories. And that's what produces the Myers-Briggs fourfold personality types.
That's like INTJ with the, like...
Yeah, by the way, it's not an accident that you run into so many INTPs and INTJs online.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I think it was the commander. Yeah, because I remember taking it and I remember being the commander, but I don't remember which personality that was. Oh, it was ENTJ. Okay. And that, yeah, that stands for... Oh gosh, I can't remember. I'm looking that up right now.
Well, the first one's extrovert or introvert.
Mm-hmm.
So you extroverted?
You couldn't tell?
Nah, I don't buy it.
Extroverted, intuitive thinking, and judging. Yeah.
Well, extroverted and judging. The intuitive implies empathy. I don't know about that part. Just
excuse me. They are decisive people who love momentum and accomplishment. They gather information to construct their creative visions, but rarely hesitate for long before acting on them. That doesn't sound anything like me.
Quality content here on Weebo Jones's channel.
Yeet. Strengths and weaknesses. Let's see what it is. Because I do remember taking this test. I just don't remember. I didn't remember the specifics of it. But my strengths are that I'm efficient, energetic, self-confident, strong-willed, strategic thinking, and charismatic and inspiring. Yeah, I don't know what they're talking about here. Okay, here are my weaknesses. Oh god, this first one. Yeah, absolutely. Stubborn and dominant. I can be a little bit pig-headed at times in that way. Mm-hmm. Like, my way or the highway, bitches. Intolerant. Oh, I literally just said it's my way or the highway, didn't I? And that's literally the next thing. Literally. Polly. Literally. Here, you want to read this with me? Merry Christmas. Okay. Impatient. You know, I got called impatient like twice today by El Boyfriendo. And it was because we got stuck in train traffic, like a freight train was going by, and we were stuck for 10 minutes waiting for it to pass. And we were a block away from our destination. And I was so pissed. But then he also called me impatient later because I jaywalked before there were no cars present. And so I just kind of hung out in the middle of the road waiting for there to be no cars present on the other side of the road. And then I dashed across while there was an oncoming car. I'm going to die of jaywalking, aren't I? Jaywalking related issues. I can see it now.
I'm not sure about that. I got caught up in the way you keep describing an absence of things as a present condition. I just I rushed because there were no cars there. Like, wait, hold on. That's an odd way to formulate that sentence, but okay.
No. I rushed because there were cars oncoming. There was like a small break, and it was precarious in whether or not I could make it, so I rushed across. There we go. I made it make sense.
Did you? Is that what happened there?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Arrogant.
Zombie Teddy says Myers-Briggs test is crap. I got an INFJ, and I'm not an introvert. I don't blame you for thinking so. It's the Myers-Briggs test is especially if you do a condensed one. There's a number of like ones that are like some 15 questions online or 25. If you do the full extended one, it's like some 100 questions where you get a lot of repetition in questions where it's like, I've already answered this. It's like, yeah, that's the point though. They're asking the same question in slightly different ways to average out your responses, and you won't get the same fourfold answer if you do it at different times. And that's the whole point. You're not wrong. It's zombie. It's subject to your mood. If you're feeling slightly more down or introverted, you're going to come up as an introvert. And days where you're more excitable or caffeinated, you're going to come out as an extrovert. Yeah, the test is definitely full of flaws. There's no such thing as a test that's really going to help in that way. People, you know, who talks about Myers-Briggs is like sort of like the most wonderful thing in the world are people that are extremely happy with the result that they got, and then they run around like a kid with a lollipop. You know, it's yay! Like it's a tool and not much more than that.
Yeah, personality tests. I have yet to come across one that I'm satisfied with in terms of how scientifically it can narrow down all of the variants of humanity and its personalities to, you know, a few letters and some personality, like 16 personality traits. Okay, sure, Jan.
Really quick, zombie. Excuse me, Lion Patriot yelled at me. I go check my Streamlabs.
Woof.
I didn't have my alternate computer, my other computer open here, and I just opened it now. And oh my God, Lion Patriot, you're so generous. Thank you very much for the generous donation. He says, "Here are some funds. Put some cream soda in the fridge at Noir Bar." Hold on to that thought for a second. I want to come back to cream soda. It's an interesting suggestion. Next 6 minutes. Thank you very much. Almost didn't get a Streamlabs, friendo. Anyway, good to see you, man. May I take this opportunity to recommend someone to sub to this awesome otter and watch Comic Book Curation in Noir Bar. Also, New Potato Cash left you a message in Discord. Fist bumps. Hey, fist bumps. Thank you very much, Sex. I got to go check. We're going to come back to Discord messaging in a second. That's two pinned messages. Okay, and Lion Patriot, again, thank you very much. Do not... Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Do not read on stream. Well, I'll get back to you on that. I think it was started. I don't know if it got finished. I'll get back to you on that one, Lion Patriot. Yeah, I know it was started, but I don't know if it was finished. Okay, so what should I do? Complain first or talk or wax historical?
Are you talking about like right now?
Yeah, we can pin this because those things came up. Yeah, because those will divert us from conversation. So we'll go back to Sixes and Lion Patriot's statements in a second about cream soda and Discord messages, respectively. So, Merry Christmas. You had things you were reading.
Oh, yeah. Poor handling of emotions and cold and ruthless. I can't really see the poor handling of emotions thing. I'm really good at handling them, but the cold and ruthlessness, there is a part of me sometimes that can be a little bit cold and ruthless, insensitive, some would say. But it doesn't happen as often as it... Yeah. Maybe not ruthless, but cold, definitely.
No, the other way around, I was going to say. I don't see cold coming from you. Ruthless, very much so.
Really?
Ruthless is one of those words that has picked up baggage over time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like romantic has picked up a lot of baggage over time. People think romantic entanglement with another person, where Sir Galahad is on a romantic quest, right? Mm-hmm. The high romance means just that. It means colorful, big ideals. Over
the top.
Yeah, the story of King Arthur pulling the sword from the stone and becoming the fabled king of the Britons. It's a highly romantic story. Yeah, but there's no sex or eroticism in it. Yes, romance does not entail sex or eroticism. It's not originally, but it's picked up that baggage over time, and understandably, right? It's not just a relationship between a boy and a girl, or a boy and a boy, or a girl and a girl, whatever the fuck, because we're on the internet, or a person in themselves. If you're non-binary, I'm guessing the, I don't know what these people do. I've lost the plot, but
yeah, what does one do in a relationship?
But I'm not trying to be a condescending bastard, but like I think it's useful to know, it's like romantic in the classic sense of the word, to be able to say that and have it make some kind of sense. Why is it that coming home and your boyfriend has set up, or your husband, whatever, has set up a candlelight dinner, and it's a dark lighting and there's soft music playing? Why is the word romantic applied to that? Because it's over the top, right? It's
extra.
Yeah, we could just sit there and eat burgers over the sink. I mean, are we not sharing a meal together as a couple? Yes, but it's markedly different because of all of the trappings in and around it, That's so anyway, ruthless. Ruthless just means single-mindedly going after something without it allowing
without distraction.
Yeah, without distraction, going after it extremely single-mindedly. And that can entail causing people's lives to end in the process because you don't give a fuck. So ruthless ends up being applied to, Lex Luthor and Donald Trump and anything else anyone wants to view as villainous. You know what I mean? But really, it doesn't entail that. A highly devout person pursues their faith ruthlessly.
Okay, yeah, I get that. I guess maybe having had that revelation about ruthlessness, okay, I can see where I would be a little bit more ruthless than cold, definitely.
Yeah, cold is like far is cold.
Like
that's
like, no, go away.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
But you just caused me great pain, and I do not care.
I haven't a care in the world. Bye-bye. I can be cold every once in a while, too. Okay, so I want to hear what you are, Polly.
What do you mean?
Which of the 16 personality traits were you?
Oh, Myers-Briggs?
Yeah.
Oh, I forget. Because, well, you know me, I did the psych undergrad, right? We, meaning me and the two other people in my group, were highly critical of Myers-Briggs, and we did the test so many different times, but put out by different companies. And the multiplicity of results that we got for each one of us. And that's the point. You can demonstrate it clinically. Depends on what kind of mood you're in.
Okay.
How you're going to answer it. And social desirability is a huge factor. You sit down, if you put a woman in a room with 20 men, she will answer in a certain way. If you put a man in a room with 20 women, he will answer in a certain way. Social desirability becomes a factor in how you answer. It's a factor in every self-reporting test, but I'm still making my point. Like, what am I? Oh, Jesus, I did the test so many times. I got so many different answers. I can't really give you one.
What was the predominant answer that you got, though?
What was it? Extrovert, intuitive. I can't remember. I'd have to go back and look.
Let's see. We have the architect, the logician, the commander, the debater, the advocate, the mediator, the protagonist, the campaigner, logistician, defender, executive, consul, virtuoso, adventurer, entrepreneur, entertainer. None of these sound like horrible.
Distrust any psychological test that comes with its own cartoon caricatures. I mean, Jesus.
Look at that. They're animated. It's so cute. No, Polly just draws me in. Look at, he's waving at you.
Diplomats.
This one's the protagonist. Oh, is that the whole King Arthur thing or no? Oh, I don't know. Look, he's actually waving at you. Polly, are you not entertained? All right.
With the paper puppet hand waving, one motion.
Yes, I love it. I love it. Look at that. She's pointing a stick. That is so me. I would totally point a stick at people.
I can be ruthless at a buffet, says Lion Patriot. There you go. You're getting the idea. You're
All right.
knocking grandma nuns out of the way to get to that fucking salad bar, goddamn it.
Yeah. Skip Talk says ENTJ. I bet for you, Polly. So that would be also Commander. What? Maybe. I don't know. I don't know if I could see it.
All right, so let's talk about cream soda.
Okay, let's talk about cream soda. Do it. Yeah.
Okay, I'm surprised how old cream soda is as a product. It makes sense to request that it's at Noir Bar and available, especially if you want to pour some rye in it.
Mm-hmm.
Rye it's weird. Rye was really big back in the day. You hear it come up in all the detective novels and stuff. A bottle of bonded rye. And then just nobody ever heard of it. It was all about scotch and bourbon. And now it's like the hipster thing. Like, I want a single grain rye. I think people just get bored and move in cycles when it comes to whiskey. But anyway, I digress. Weebo, what color is cream soda? Where you're from?
Isn't it brown?
Brown.
Maybe?
No, I can see it. Lion Patriot says salad. Laughing emoji.
Because there are different varieties of cream soda, right?
Oh yes.
There's A&W cream soda.
Well, no, but there's varieties of cream soda, and like chat, like where you're at, what color is cream soda? I find it amazing how many different colors cream soda comes in. I'm used to seeing it clear or blue.
Really? I've never seen blue cream soda in my entire life.
I asked Lucky Pop Tart what color's cream soda where you're at, and she's in Texas, and she's, what do you mean, pink or clear? I'm like, pink. Yeah, she's like a pale red, pink, that kind of thing. Isn't it weird? Like when you
This is what I think of when I think of cream soda.
Oh, it looks like a pale root beer.
Yeah, it's like a pale root beer, and they have brown Sprickers cream soda, and all of the variants. But apparently there's more than one. I don't like it, Polly.
Do you see what I mean? Like, you see all the colors it comes in? Like, it's one of those things that you don't expect to have varied answers, but all of a sudden it's like, wait a minute. When you start asking people, it's like, and then who is it that said, what do you mean? I've never seen anything other than a clear cream soda in my life. It comes in colors.
I don't like it. It's yellow. It looks like a beer. It actually, you know what it looks like? It looks like, if you've ever been to Universal, they have butterbeer for Harry Potter World. It reminds me of that. Anyone else? This does not look appetizing. That's ice cream with melon syrup?
Whoa.
I don't know.
Okay.
The cream
Let me ask you this.
soda recipe. Yeah.
What is cream soda? What does it taste like? What is it supposed to taste like?
Like vanilla and ice cream, right?
Yeah. I didn't get that out of it all. I was like, vanilla and vague fruit?
They make Barks cream soda. Oh, guys. Mama needs some. Yes. Sorry.
You want the Barks?
I'm a big fan of Barks as a brand name of root beers. If we're going to have root beer, it's got to be Barks. No other soda will do. That is my main. I am a Barks supremacist. And if I'm going to have a cream soda, if Barks is an option, I'm going to take it. Yeah.
So I'm looking on the Wikipedia page just because it's listing what's going on in other countries, right? You got this in Australia, 2 distinctly different flavored sodas exist. Creamy soda or brown cream soda is vanilla flavored, whereas creaming soda generally refers to a pink soft drink with fruit and berry flavors.
Oh, creaming soda?
Creaming soda. Yeah.
Mother leg.
Quit being a pervert. Okay.
I can't help it. I'm sorry. You said it. I had to laugh. Now I'm gonna buy a whole bunch of Root Beer Barks cream soda. Thanks, Polly. You did this.
Well, be happy that you found it. A Japanese style cream soda is green. Wow. Oh, here it is. Okay, I see why now. In Japan, a cream soda is a term for an ice cream float made with melon-flavored soda, top of the scoop of vanilla ice cream.
You're making me very thirsty right now, and not in a sexual way. In like an actual like, I want that. I want that soda.
Hold on, not in a sexual way, is what you just said?
Yeah, that's what.
Get the creaming out of your head. Jesus. Once you go down a path, you pursue it ruthlessly.
I said you were making me thirsty, but not in a sexual way. I had to clarify for the audience because they dirty minded like me.
In Russia, soda cream you. Fair to fair. Fuck
So yeah, Barks makes cream soda. They also make a red cream, and I want to try them all.
Red cream. Okay. Why do they spell it like that?
Creme.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is 1 part cream soda, 1 part red deliciousness, and we've heard that it also has the hard to get quality. So if you're lucky enough to spot it, call friends, stock up, enjoy. Ooh, yeah.
On the company's website, they tell you that their product is difficult to get a hold of.
Yeah. Ooh. Ooh. No one was supposed to see that page.
Docs.
Yep.
That's all right.
I'll just blur it out later.
Okay, so let's talk about Discord messages.
Okay.
I have had extremely poor luck with the settings on Discord and on Twitter in terms of notification badges. Notification badges are like a bane of me online. I can never get them to turn off, so I just kind of forget about them. If you look on my computer screens right now, there's notification badges fucking everywhere. There's little red circles with fucking numbers everywhere you look. Especially on Discord. Every server I'm in has a notification badge lit up. People are like, just mute the server. Yeah, but people go in there and at everyone and at all. And it's like, yeah, but you can mute those too. I've tried. And it doesn't work. So I end up missing all of these things because it's notification badges are supposed to stand out in your field of vision to let you know that somebody has left a message for you and would like you to read it.
And
unfortunately,
it's just giving you a hard time.
Yeah, I end up just kind of looking past them because they're fucking everywhere. Remember one time I shared my screen and Eve saw it and she's like, "Oh my God, look at all those notifications." I think her server said like 352 or something like that. And she's like, "It actually runs into the hundreds." And I'm like, "Yeah, I don't know. Hold on."
Oh God, I couldn't do that. I have 6 notifications currently, and that is actually more than I prefer. I am one of those notification Nazis. I will personally go into a thing and open every single thing. And the reason why I do that is because I don't like the little red nubbin that pops up when you got something. I don't like it. And of course, that means that I forget to do stuff a lot with that.
There you go. There you go, chat. You heard it here first. You want to drive Weebo nuts? Just send her message after message after message because she can't ignore the badge.
Don't do that because I'll block you. Listen. This is a bad idea. Don't take advice from Polly. If you want to annoy me, there are easier ways to do it without getting blocked. Trust me.
So where are we at here, Weebo?
We were talking about cream soda.
Oh, yeah.
Was there more that you wanted to go into detail about cream soda on?
No, I just find that interesting that when you ask people what color is cream soda, they they look at you strangely, like, what the hell are you asking me for? This answer is obvious. And then they tell you, and then you start saying, did you know that there are, yeah.
You blew my mind with that one, Polly. I will admit. But next time you won't be so lucky. I will not be as shook.
I am full of useful and confusing information. It's fine.
All right.
Oh, Weebo, I got a picture for you.
Oh, hang on. Do I want to see it? Are you sure? Am I sure? Do I want to see it? Yeah,
Now,
sure. Go ahead. You hyped it up for me. I want to see it now.
It's time to restart my computer.
Seriously?
Well, not
Tell
this
your computer to fuck off.
Not this very second, but okay. So as you know, I've been watching Terminator, the Sarah Connor Chronicles.
Yes.
And I took this screen snap. Now, Lena Headey is a very attractive woman, and I'm not going to lie, she's the main reason I'm watching the show. But I took this screen snap because you see this consistently in the show going on.
Yeah. Zoom in a little bit.
Okay.
She got her booger flicker on the boom switch.
Well, yeah, but she's pointing the gun at someone to shoot them.
Isn't that going to smack her in the face?
Why would it smack her in the face?
Because she's not actually... Aren't you supposed to hold it right below where
there you go.
Comes back?
How do you know when an actress is holding a gun? Well, she's holding it like this. Every time. Like, this just screams, hey, actress with a prop gun. If she pulls that trigger, the gun might not flip right out of her hand because it's supposed to be a 9mm, but she's gonna feel it. It's
because you're supposed to smack it right into the
web of your hand.
The curvy bit is supposed to go into your flexgina. That's what this is called, actually.
Oh shit! Because I choke up on that gun, Lena. Jesus.
This is a weenus. This is the flexgina. That's what you're supposed to knock the curvy bit back towards.
And
you'll have good grip that way.
Like, don't you have prop masters, armorers, etc. on set who manage all of your prop guns and firearms? And this is a action-oriented show. There's lots of guns in it. Don't you have somebody's like, whoa. You really got to tell her to like hold that gun so it looks at least semi-realistic. At the very least, at least she's not doing the cup and saucer thing where somebody will put the fist of their hand into the palm of the other, and that's the way they hold the gun. You see a lot of actors do that. At least she's got like a two-handed kind of thumbs forward grip there, but it's just so she's supposed to be Sarah Connor, self-trained, military-oriented guerrilla fighter. You know what I mean? And then you see her go, I said, get out of the car. And she's holding the gun like that. And it's like, oh God, you just took me right out of the scene. This is.
Well, it wouldn't it have transpired in like that much of a moment?
What do you mean?
Would you have actually caught this if you hadn't taken the screenshot? Because I haven't seen this scene. So like, did it not happen in a very fluid way?
No,
where it happened.
No.
Seconds, or
there are scenes, of course, where that does happen, where like the action is quite quick. But then there's lots of scenes where people are holding guns on other people, and this was one of them. She's having a conversation. Well, it's one hell of a conversation, isn't it? Where it's like she doesn't know if this person's a Terminator or not. Is this like a real human being, or is this a killer machine with skin on it? You know what I mean? So she's holding the gun on the machine, this person asking like, who are you? How'd you find me? Blah, blah, blah. So you see it clearly for the whole extended scene that she's talking, and repeatedly. This is like halfway through the first season, this, and it had happened so many times that you see the way that she's holding guns, it's like, lady, the way you're holding that shotgun, if you pull the trigger, it's going to punch you. Like the stock will sock you. Like it's, you know what I mean? And I'm not saying that they need to be gun experts or they need to train the way that some actors do, the various actors that were in Heat did, where they went full bore live fire training, or the way that Keanu Reeves did for John Wick, full on live fire training. I don't think they need to do that. But where's your armory and your prop officer to say, hey, I don't know. It would be like watching a scene where there's some guy who's supposed to be a Lothario and running around, and he's had all the women. He's a Casanova, and suddenly he's completely baffled by the concept of a bra clasp. How do I get this thing undone? I'm completely confused by this. And it's like,
I'm shook.
Do you see what I mean?
They've always taken their bras off for me, so I've never had to do it. You see where I'm confused? Yeah, Daniel Pullman says, I hate it when people hold the pistol sideways. Polly, do you also hate that?
Yeah, I do. When you brought that up, it made me think of that scene in The Sopranos where there's this one wannabe mobster takes these two guys along on a truck heist, and one of them is holding a gun sideways, and he's like, all right, get out of the cab. And you slowly, keep your hands where I can see him. And as he's stepping down, he looks over at the guy he brought with him who's holding his gun sideways. And he leans over and turns it upright and goes, stop it with that gun sideways shit.
I don't know why do you know why they hold their guns sideways?
Style? No. The answer is no. I have no idea.
You know what? Let's Google it. Let's find out. Why do people hold their gun sideways?
Although I did see a great meme Photoshop job that somebody had done on a gun where they took the front and rear post sights and put them on the side of the gun. And they're like side-mounted sights for you when you insist on holding your gun the wrong way.
There are a lot of articles on why people hold the gun sideways, and a lot of them have to do with gangsters, obviously.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Let's see if I can find. There's an actual name for it. It's called side grip.
Yeah.
Because their heavy recoil made them tend to climb when fired in full. Wait. The side grip found some use with early 20th century submachine guns such as the Thompson M1 or the M3 grease gun. Because their heavy recoil made them tend to climb when fired in full automatic mode, soldiers would hold them sideways so that the bullets would spread in a horizontal rather than vertical arc, hitting more targets. Okay, that makes sense.
It does. Why you're doing it with a semi-automatic pistol, though, but okay.
Law enforcement officers will sometimes use the side grip to shoot while holding a riot shield or ballistic shield with their other hand because the shield limits the field of view. Lifting and tilting the gun may make the sights more visible under these circumstances. Some shooters with issues of ocular dominance will tilt the gun at a 15 to 45 degree angle in order to take advantage of their better eye. The gun held in the left hand and the sights aligned to the right eye, for example. Oh! Speaking of shenanigans.
Whoa. Rip my ears. Okay, what? Shenanigans?
Okay, all right. So I found out why I'm such a terrible shot with my gun. And it's not just because I wasn't gripping it tight enough.
Is it the vagina?
No, actually.
Okay, you were saying. I might be clipping that later.
Okay. So you remember when I told you that I got my physical for my job and I got the results back and I was looking at them, and this was off air, I'm pretty sure, but we were talking about my physical results and I looked and I saw that my vision for both of my eyes wasn't quite 20/20. We had this whole exploratory discussion about what does 20/20 actually mean? Is 30/20 and 40/20 in either eye like better or worse? Like what's going on here? Of course, it wasn't an actual formal eye exam. It was just look at the wall, 20 paces. What do you see? Line. But I went to, I decided to go to the optometrist to get my eyes actually officially checked for the first time in 6 or 7 years or whatever. Turns out I have an astigmatism.
Oh, yeah?
Which means that the way that the doctor explained it to me, I'm not sure if I'm 100%, certain of exactly what he meant by this, but What that means is that while I do have perfect near and far sight, the issue is that the way that I receive light is blurry because of the way that my cornea is actually shaped.
Is that what astigmatism means?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. So things, especially at night, lights blur for me. And so that is going to blur my vision at certain angles. It's going to strain my eyes a little bit more. If I'm doing literally anything, I'll get tired easier. But that means I need glasses.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm getting glasses. The the optometrist, he altered things on the little machine thingy to test out to see exactly what was wrong with my eyeballs. And he got it to a point where I could see the letters perfectly, like better than a person with 20/20 vision would be able to. And then he flicked a switch and it went back to being blurry. I'm like, wait, no, you can't just give me the gift of perfect sight and then take it away from me in one go. Like, what the fuck, man? Anyway, so I'm getting glasses, long story short. And hopefully that will improve my ability to shoot at a target if I'm doing it with glasses. I will not have the librarian look that I posted about on Twitter, like, because I posted a picture of me with actual, like, frameless glasses. Or, not frameless, but glassless glasses, just the frames.
Right. No,
They're 3D frames, actually. So I posted a picture of me, and I just posted soon because I'm going to get glasses soon. Anyway, sorry. Side tangent.
You going to go for some contacts as well?
I'm going to try the glasses out first, and then we'll see. Because I don't need to wear them all the time. My vision's not going to get any worse or better depending, or like, I'm not going to deteriorate any more than I already am, I don't think. If I don't wear the glasses, it's just things are going to be better. I'm going to have to adapt to the way that things are going to look now that my cornea shape is corrected. He said that things were going to look trapezoidal more so than not. Things were going to be skewed a little bit, but then my brain was going to correct to what it actually should be in terms of real life. The best comparison that I can come up with is if you've ever put on drunk goggles and walked around with them for several hours, your brain kind of adjusts to that new normal. Or if you've ever put on goggles that make the world upside down or horizontally flipped, your brain adjusts to that new normal and then everything kind of settles into a normal. And then when you take them off, you have to readjust the way that you see the world again.
Sure.
It's going to be kind of like that for me with glasses. So I'm a little bit nervous. It's going to be fun. We shall see.
Do you have through your healthcare like the appointment cost will be lessened and the cost for the glasses will be lessened? Anything, or are you just paying out?
It's going to be lessened. The whole appointment plus the glasses and all of the fixins, because I got the ones that aren't going to strain my eyes from like looking at the computer for very long, and the ones that are glare resistant from lights.
Which ones are those? The computer ones you mentioned. I've never heard of this.
They're like a new one. They're anti-computer strain. Their brand, I can't remember.
Really? That's interesting.
But they block out the blue light. They're like, there's a Z in them.
They block blue. That's interesting.
They block the blue light. They stop all of that nasty. I can't remember what it is. I'll find the documentation. I left it on my dad's desk.
Yeah, Daniel Fullman says glasses are expensive. Goddamn right they are. I was surprised. I've never worn glasses, and when I was like hearing about the cost of them, I was like, no shit. I had no idea.
Yep. Lenny Stanfield. How many fingers am I holding up? Astigmatism Jones. 39, obviously. Yeah, glasses are expensive. I figured that one out. Even with the healthcare coverage, the glasses were a $400 charge. or the whole appointment plus the glasses and all of the fixins was in total $400, and that was after insurance covered a lot. But it's fixed now. I'll be able to see, especially since I'll be doing night driving. This will be very useful to me. A lot of night driving.
Forrest Platy has a pair of those glasses. That's interesting. I'll have to ask her about that.
Mm-hmm.
See, I want a pair of glasses, but mostly so I can pull them off to say things dramatically.
Oh, I hadn't even thought of that. I'll get to do that now to you. Ah!
I want them as a prop, to just.
Well, I have the fake glasses. Where are they? They're. Yeah, I have several fake glasses props here. Let's try it. Fashion show, Polly. Look at this. These are the ones that are the frameless ones, or the rimless ones, or fuck me, the glassless ones.
Right.
These are the ones that I was wearing. In the picture, and then I have another pair. These bad boys.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very, very nice.
Got these at VidCon.
Can you see through those?
Yeah, I can.
Okay.
Of course, there's these thingies in the way, but
yeah,
these are the only reason. This is the only reason why I don't regret going to VidCon that one time that I went to VidCon.
But everything else was pure regret.
Wow. This is the highlight of my entire trip. Actually, Jesus. No. This and meeting Mundane Matt in real life.
What is Mr. Jarbo like in real life?
He's about as tall as me.
That bad, huh?
Excuse me.
Well, yeah, no, you're a woman. It's different, okay?
Okay. In all seriousness, Matt Jarbo is not a unfun guy to hang out with. We went to a hole in the wall type bar the last night that we were there, and hung out with him and a bunch of other people. Not like higher up YouTube celebrity type people, but like your average Joe type people. And it was a lot of fun. There was one lady sitting on the corner. She was making scale chain mail. There was, I blew $20 that night on the jukebox, and I put on every meme song that I knew, and it was great. And everyone loved me for it. And I felt like the queen of that night. It was just really low standards for me.
Yeah, but isn't that the thing with Mundane Matt though? It's like, he's actually really fun to hang out with. Well, I've never met the guy. I wouldn't know, but isn't the whole point that like all of his problems he absolutely caused for himself? Isn't that the thing?
Yeah, but he's aside from that. Like, if you just knew him as a person, not as a YouTuber, he'd be chill to hang out with, barring the massive fuck ups.
Right. Jesus.
Which there's only one that I can really come up with off the top of my head, and that one was
flagging anybody and everybody.
Flagging people that talk shit about him. Yeah, that's don't do that. It's bad.
Yeah, that one little thing. It's just.
It's not a little thing. It is a big deal.
No, it's not. That's what I'm saying.
It's not a little thing. It is a big deal. But, I'm a forgiving person. Second chances are something that I believe in. And I don't think he's done it again now. I think he's toeing the straight and narrow, So I am willing to forgive a person. Unlike some people out there.
I hold grudges. You let it go. Who are you talking about?
Yeah, no, I don't hold grudges unless
I'm asking you, who are you talking about? I'm like, some people. Who are you referring to?
Like there are those people on the internet that will bring up that incident every single time he inserts himself into any conversation, and you see it underneath his mentions, and I'm just like, guys, get over it. That was years ago, and it's a non-issue anymore. It's just lore at this point. And I know it's easy for me to say, having not been one of the people that he false flagged, but
that you know of.
Let's be honest, he didn't. I'm a nobody.
Well, okay. Here's the thing. I'm going to be the first guy to say it. I don't know how the fuck YouTube works. I don't get it.
Mhm.
It in so many ways. Like there's people, it's like, oh, well, so and so flagged somebody and their video was taken down. Is that all it takes? Like I've never flagged somebody, so I have no idea how to even do that in Studio Creator where you go. But again, this is where it starts. I don't know how YouTube works. It's all guesswork. Wouldn't you have to be somebody of relative size and importance to flag one person once and it took down their video? I mean, people get flagged for hate speech all the time. People will say to their followers, like, hater squads out there where it'll be like, oh, they'll say on Twitter, everybody go flag this video for hate speech or whatever the fuck. And, so you'd have to imagine that dozens of flaggings occur, but yet the video stays up. Would have to guess what? It's because they're all a bunch of nothing accounts. That's why YouTube doesn't care. But Matt flags somebody and suddenly they're taken down. What, does Matt have like an inside track at YouTube? I don't get any of those things, man.
I honestly have no idea. We didn't actually even talk about it because I hung out with him, I think, after all of the shenanigans went down when I went to VidCon. We didn't talk about it because, that's an awkward thing to bring up to somebody. Like, hey, Matt, how's the false flagging going? I just wanted to have a good time. That's what I did.
I am going to guess that a bunch of people have asked him that hey, Matt, how's the false flagging going?
I'm not one to harp on the past to people unless it directly pertains to me and it's my business. Like, sure, I'll watch the drama. I'm hungry for all that spiciness, but I, in reality, don't actually give a shit. It's just entertainment for me. At the end of the day, I'm going to go to bed and it's not going to have any bearing on my life at all. Now, where there is an exception to be made is if the drama directly affects me and the person won't fucking quit with it, then I'll have a problem with that person. And
what was there was something that people were talking about last night I want to ask you about. What the hell was it? It's totally off topic from what we were just talking about. I'm trying to remember.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you are polling the members of the Weebo Hot Squad there to come up with films for you to watch. You guys are moving on to psychological thrillers. Is that right?
I guess they made that decision without me. So I'm just the host and the person that they're looking to torment with stuff. Although the last movie that they voted on, we watched Paycheck with Ben Flack and Uma Thurman.
It was good.
It was good.
Yeah.
Underappreciated, even though I shit talked that movie so much while it was happening. I had so much to say because I'm a snarky bitch and I was feeling particularly spicy that night that we watched that movie. But I was watching it, I was like, this is actually a really good movie. Why wasn't it more popular? Oh, because it came out the same weekend as Return of the King. That's why. It didn't make waves at the box office because it had Lord of the Rings to compete with.
I'm a big fan of John Woo, right? Mm-hmm. To begin with. And I love his style of making films. I'm a big fan of his original Hong Kong stuff with Chow Yun-fat, The Killer, fucking Hard Boiled, big fan. But, and then his American stuff, like, I didn't like, whatchamacallit very much. Help me out here.
No.
With Tom Cruise, the series that's lasted forever and a day.
Oh, Mission Impossible.
Thank you. Mission Impossible 2, directed by John Woo. That's one of his American films I didn't like. But
wait, which one's Mission Impossible 2? There's so many. I lose track.
So what happens in the movies, you have Tom Cruise, and he runs around and does action things.
Oh, shit, Sherlock. Is that the one with the brain bomb implants?
Maybe. I've kind of.
Is that the one with... Okay, I'll look it up. Continue.
But like you were saying, Paycheck, well, it's got its corny elements to it. It's kind of campy elements where you just kind of have to accept what's going on. That's unrealistic. It's like, it doesn't matter. It's like Face Off. I'm like, another great John Woo film, right?
Yeah.
Really, that's so unrealistic. Those two actors aren't even the same height. And it's, oh, fuck off. You're exactly the kind of person I don't want to watch movies with. Just accept the reality of the situation. Just imagine that it could be, and then go from there. Because the truth is, John Travolta does an absolutely hilarious Nicolas Cage impression, and it's really fun to watch.
Oh, are you talking about Face Off?
Yeah.
Oh, I need to watch that. I've seen clips, but I've never actually watched it all the way.
Oh, you've never seen the movie? Oh, if you loved Paycheck, you will, or if you liked Paycheck, you will love Face Off.
Okay.
Like, if you're willing to kind of get past some of like the corny elements and just accept that that's what's happening inside the film, fuck. And it's got all your classic John Woo sequences. It's got one of the best John Woo Mexican standoffs. It's not two guys pointing guns at each other. It's a whole room full of people pointing guns at each other.
I nicknamed the two guys pointing guns at each other the not Mexican standoff because they're not enough for a Mexican standoff, and a Mexican standoff is traditionally at least 3 people.
Fair enough.
Mm-hmm. And then all throughout the movie, I kept calling Uma Thurman Sid, as in Sid the Sloth, because I don't know what it is, but her eyes, the way that her face is constructed, just reminds me of Sid the Sloth and Brittany Venti.
Philip Seymour Hoffman was the bad guy. Okay.
This was the Mission Impossible 2 movie was the one with the chemical weapon. And the woman was like shooting herself up with the virus that takes a certain amount of time to actually be dangerous. The
Paycheck also has Paul Giamatti, so that's an automatic win for a film when you've got Paul Giamatti.
Oh yeah, although I will say he was woefully underutilized in that movie. He could have been so much more. He could have been everything. He could have been the actual protagonist's better half instead of Uma Thurman. What does she actually do in that movie? Nothing. Very, very little. She's useless. She's just a biologist. And even that I use as a term that is loosely defined to define Uma Thurman in that movie. Paul Giamatti did not get the screen time that he deserved in that movie.
Yeah. Have you ever heard of a movie with Clive Owen and Paul Giamatti called Shoot 'Em Up? That is exactly what's wrong with Hollywood movies, that movie. It's like, okay, so these Hong Kong shoot 'em up flicks are really popular right now. A lot of gunplay, a lot of highly choreographed gun sequences. And yes, when they're done very well, you get John Wick. When they're done horribly with a bunch of hack writers that think they're being clever, you get shoot 'em up. Like, you've got Clive Owen as the protagonist, as like this badass loner character who's great with a gun, and the super villainous character played by Paul Giamatti. And the film is nuts. It's so bad. You got Monica shit. What's her name? She played the sexy wife of the Merovingian in the Matrix trilogy. Well, in parts 2 and 3 of the Matrix. She played Mary Magdalene in Passion of the Christ. She was Italian actress, sexy as hell. What's her name? Damn it. Monica Bellucci.
Are you sure?
Fairly certain.
You sure?
Fairly.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, they are the next 6 minutes with Bellucci. Yeah, okay. Monica Bellucci plays the lactating whore.
Sorry, what?
Yeah, right. She just like, this is what happens when Hollywood takes an idea and just like hack writers think they're being clever. It's just, anyone who's seen that movie knows what I'm talking about. It's like, why did you make Monica Bellucci a lactating whore who has had a kid and now she's a hooker who does baby play with weirdo clients? And for what purpose? Like, it's not even like a point in the film. It's just to have to repeatedly be able to have the actor say lactating whore. That's why. It's so dumb.
I don't know if that's a bit that would get old just because it wasn't done right. No, actually, I do know. It's a bit that would get old if it wasn't done right, but it could be funny. It could be good. It could be brilliant. You don't know.
And it's like, I'm not certain if that movie has elements that are attempting political commentary in it or it's just stupid. I think it's just stupid. Because you have these moments where like it's a big time gun dealer, gun manufacturer is in cahoots with this political leader who's a thinly veiled Republican, classic far right Republican. And of course, he's in cahoots with the evil gun manufacturer, and they're shipping guns all over the blah, 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 and trying to sell as many guns as possible. And you have a moment where Clive Owen's got one of his own guns pointed at him and says, "What do you think of your Second Amendment rights now?" And it's like, oh my God, this is awful. Like, I think it was, that's it. When I was watching the movie, I'm like, is this an attempt at political commentary? Or are you guys just fucking retards?
They might just be fucking retards.
Yeah.
Fucking retards, not fucking retards.
I mean, like I'm saying, you get powerhouse actors in it. You want to do a shoot 'em up flick to the point where you're calling the movie Shoot 'em Up, and this is what you do with it. What a lost opportunity.
Deep oof. Deep oof.
Get this. There's a point where Clive Owen puts bullets between 1, 2, 3, 4 of his finger grooves. Okay, because he doesn't have a gun, but he's got ammunition. So he puts like 1, 2, 3, 4 bullets, all pointing forward, and sticks his hand up to a fireplace, which causes the bullets to heat up and then go off, and he shoots a guy with all 4 bullets.
You gotta time that right, sir.
Well, I mean, beyond that wouldn't work. It's just so stupid.
Don't worry about it, Polly. You're thinking too much about it. You're gonna be one of those people? Gosh.
Polly with the 40s lingo. Cahoots. Yeah, I know. I spent too much time reading detective novels and noir fiction. But I was actually talking about this just last night. There's a bunch of old-timey sayings that I'd like to bring back into regular use. I'm not certain if they ever were real sayings of the 40s. I'd like to think they were. Crack and Foxy.
What is that supposed to mean?
It means it's like selling wolf tickets. It's you're saying something that isn't true. You're hoping to you're gaslighting me. You're hoping to convince me of something that you damn well know isn't real, and you're trying to make me think it's real. You're cracking Foxy. You're talking shit. What you're
okay, I like it. Start using it more, especially around me, because I talk a lot of shit.
Well, okay. Speaking of lingo that don't make no sense, Farr had mentioned earlier a certain character in the aforementioned Terminator, the Sarah Connor Chronicles.
Yeah.
She is their resident exotic woman. So she's an Asian woman who is from Australia, and they have her as like stereotypical Aussie, or their really bad writer's attempt at it. And she's constantly dropping these little sayings that, like, I'm asking Farr, like, have you ever heard this saying before? And she's like, no, I've never heard that before. She'll be apples.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, Farr had never heard it either. Apparently it means everything will be okay.
No, it doesn't. That's not what that means.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what it means, but that's not it. Nope, sorry.
Constantly calling everyone around her mate. And I get that is like common slang, but it just sounds so artificial coming out of that actress's mouth.
Mate.
Yes.
Mate.
They sent me over here to fox it around. Fox it? Look. Scurry, rummage around.
Fox it. I don't like it.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with any of this.
I mean, I think it's another great example of what I was just talking about. You have Lena Headey, you got this Lena Headey, you got Summer Glau, which a lot of people think she's hot as hell, and she was like in Firefly, and you got this the actress who plays that. Who plays that Australian badass? That's who she's supposed to be. She was over in the remake of Battlestar Galactica, which I've never seen.
I've heard it was bad.
I've heard good things. I've never seen it. I don't know. But
shoot him up.
That reminds me. There's nothing that bugs me. So I showed a little clip of this episode where they introduced this character to Farr.
Yeah.
And you have this is Terminator, post-apocalyptic nightmare world where Skynet's taken over nuclear warfare. Right? It's a burned out hellscape.
Yeah.
Professionals mute their phone.
Hang on. Give me 1 sec. Cole's at
All
the
right.
door.
I'll continue to talk and complain to chat. So chat. What bugs me is that you see this in a lot of films. You got the guy talking to the woman. The guy is sweaty. He's got 5 to 6 days beard growth. He's greasy. His hair's all messed up. Well, yeah, he's a fucking guerrilla fighter in a post-apocalyptic war zone. He's going to look like he's been through hell, and he does. And he's talking to this woman who's got her makeup perfectly done. Her hair is just ever so slightly mussed. There's not a bit of dirt nor sweat on her. And it's like, why is there a supermodel in the middle of a post-apocalyptic nuclear war zone? Well, if there's anything that's going to take you out of the scene, is that. It bugs me. You know what I'm talking about here, Weebs?
When you get something that doesn't fit in a movie, in the scene, like in the actual setting, time, place, ambiance, something just so jarringly out of left field. Yeah, I hate that.
Far lives in the same city as those dudes who drop things off of a tower.
Hmm?
Yeah. Sis, what you talking about?
I have no idea. But hey, guess what?
You want to keep talking even though there were 2 hours?
No.
No? Oh, okay.
No. My brother's in town, so I want to spend a little bit of time with him before he leaves tomorrow morning. He drove a whole 6 hours just to visit me for my graduation party, so I got to do that. But, Polly.
Yes.
Are we doing this next week, Saturday?
Next week, Saturday.
Same time?
I have registered it and set it to memory.
Are you sure?
Yes. Hey, Angela.
Are you positive?
Yeah. You might want to let me know the day beforehand.
All right,
Remember that shell game GIF that I tweeted you?
I will remind you the day before, and then the day of before we're supposed to be on, and then I will send you the link half an hour early. Yeah, Cole is stealing the stream anyway, and I can't have that. I am horribly narcissistic. I need all of the attention on
in the background, Cole?
It's right there. That's Coley.
Okay.
Here, we can zoom in on him. Coley! He turned. Hang on. I can adjust the colors somehow. Here.
I still remember that video of yours I was watching like a month ago or 2 months ago, whatever it was, where you're recording the video and everything's fine. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh my God, that pillow just moved. Because he was completely motionless for like the 10, 15 minutes you're recording. And then all of a sudden moves. And I'm like, oh my God, what is that thing behind Weebo?
He's just sitting there. Look at that. Oh, hi. That's me.
Hello.
He's just chilling like a villain. Hi, Cole.
Oh, yeah.
Hi, baby. Hi, buddy. How you doing? And now we're going to finish off the rest of the stream like this. Here, let me finish zooming in on him. A very blurry cat. Ah! There we go. There he is. You see him?
Yeah, he looks like he's meditating. He's just there motionless.
He's a loaf of bread right now. He's bread loafing. All right. He's chilling.
All right.
And I have to give him the room, the space. He needs it more than I do, apparently, because he's the prince of the castle. Like, you think it's bad when you have 2 women in the house, try 2 women and a cat that is very much the boss of the applesauce. Bad.
Fair enough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Bye, Cole. Say goodbye to the people, Cole. Did he move? Oh, yeah, see? He's looking at you guys.
Yes.
Okay. I love you. Emotionless. Anyway, so, guys, Polly has confirmed that we will be here next Saturday, same time, and I will remind him, and you guys will also remind him, please. Thank you. But until then, thank you so much for all of your support, for all of your comments, your your shares, your likes, your even dislikes. Everything helps. Every little bit helps. Also, thank you to those who donated to myself and both Polly. Thank you to those who joined the Discord now and in the future. To those who follow myself and Polly, we definitely appreciate all that nonsense. Polly, do you have anything that you want to shill?
Excuse me. Not more than my channel. And is it in the description?
Yeah, it's always
okay. Well, find my channel link in the description, and it's simply YouTube/Polydub. Polydub. And all the fun stuff happens over there. Comic book curation, noir bar, occasional videos. Yay! Go check it out. And thank you, as Weebo said, to everybody who donated. Greatly, sincerely appreciated.
And the Nexus Minute says to check your DMs, Polly.
I will. I'm going to do that forthwith.
Yeet. We'll see you guys next week. Same time, same place, same otter, same face. Bye.
Have a good night, everyone.
Beep, beep.